Welcome friends. Now we are presenting a great warrior and social reformer of Rome, Italy, Julius Caesar. So let's start the video. Now biography of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar's full name Jewish Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar born on 12 July in 100 BC in Rome, Italy. Julius Caesar celebrated Roman general and statesman, the conqueror of Gaul, victory in the civil war of 49 to 45 BC, and dictator 46 to 44 BC, who was launching a series of political and social reforms when he was assassinated by a group of nobles in the Senate House on the Ides of March. Caesar changed the course of the history of Greco-Roman world decisively and irreversibly. The Greco-Roman society has been extinct for so long that most of the names of its great men mean little to the average, educated modern person. But Caesar's name, like Alexander's, is still on people's lips throughout the Christian and Islamic worlds. Even people who know nothing of Caesar as a historic personality are familiar with his family name, as a little signify a ruler who is in some sense uniquely supreme or paramount. The meaning of Caesar in German, the Tsar in the Slavonic language, and Quasar in the languages of Islamic world. Caesar's sons mean clan name Julius Iulius is also familiar in the Christian world, for in Caesar's lifetime the Roman month Quintilis, in which he was born, was renamed Julie in his honor. This name has survived as has Caesar's reform of the calendar. The old Roman calendar was inaccurate and manipulated for political purpose. Caesar's calendar, the Julian calendar, is still partially in the force in the Eastern Orthodox Christian countries, and the Gregorian calendar, now in use in the West, is the Julian, slightly corrected by Pope Gregory XI. Now family background and career of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar's sons, the Julii, were patrician, example, member of Rome's original aristocracy, which had coalesced in the 4th century BC with a number of leading plebeian, means commoner family to form for the nobility that had been governing class in Rome since then. By Caesar's time, the number of surviving patrician gens was small, and in the gens Julia the Caesars seem to have been the only surviving family, though some of the most powerful noble families were patrician. Patrician blood was no longer a political advantage, it was actually a handicap, since a patrician was debarred from holding the para-constitutional but powerful office of tribune of the plebs. The Julius Caesars traced their lineage back to the goddess Venus, but the family was not snobbish or conservative minded. It was also not rich or influential or even distinguished. A Roman noble won distinction for himself and family by securing election to a series of public office, which culminated in the consulship with the censorship possibility to follow. This was a difficult task for even the ablest and most gifted noble unless he was backed by substantial family wealth and influence. Rome's victory over Carthage in the Second Punic War had made Rome the paramount power in the Mediterranean basin, and influential Roman noble families' clients, means that is proteges, in return gave their patron their political supports, might include kings and even whole nations, besides numerous private individuals. The requirement and the cost of a Roman political career in Caesar's day were high, and the competition was severe, but the potential profits were of enormous magnitude. One of the prerequisites of the praetorship and the consulship was the government of a province, which gave ample opportunity for plunder. The whole Mediterranean world was in fact at the mercy of the Roman nobility and of a new class of Roman businessmen, the quites, means knights, which had grown rich on military contracts and on tax farming. Military manpower was supplied by the Roman peasantry. This class had been partly disposed by an economic revolution following on the divisions caused by the Second Punic War. The Roman governing class had consequently come to be hated and discredited at home and abroad. From 133 BCE onward, there had been a series of alternate revolutionary and counter-revolutionary paroxysms. It was evident that the misgovernment of the Roman state and the Greco-Roman world by the Roman nobility could not continue indefinitely, and it was fairly clear that the most probable alternative was some form of military dictatorship backed by despoiled Italian peasants who had turned a long-term military service. The traditional competition among members of Roman nobility for office and the spoils of office was thus threatening to turn into a desperate race for seizing autocratic power. The Julius Caesars did not seem to be in the running. It was true that Sextus Caesar, who was perhaps the dictator's uncle, had been one of the consuls for 91 BC, and Lucius Caesar, one of the consuls for 90 BC, was a distant cousin, whose son and namesake was consul for 64 BC. In 19 BC, Rome's Italian allies had scinded from Rome because of the Roman government's obstinate refusal to grant them Roman citizenships. And as consul, Lucius Caesar had introduced emergency legislation for granting the citizens of all Italian ally states that had not taken up arms or that had returned to their allegiance. Caesar was elected one of the curule aediles for 65 BC, and he celebrated his tenure of this office by unusually lavish expenditure with borrowed money. He was elected Pontifex Maximus in 63 BC by a political dodge. By now he had become a controversial political figure. After the suppression of Catiline's conspiracy in 63 BC, Caesar, as well as the millionaire Marcus Licinius Crassus, was accused of complicity. It seemed unlikely that either of them had committed himself to Catiline, but Caesar proposed in the Senate of a more merciful alternative to the death penalty, which the consul Suro was asking for the arrested conspirator. In the uproar in the Senate, Caesar's motion was defeated. Caesar was elected a praetor for 62nd BCE toward the end of the year of his praetorship. A scandal was caused by Publius Claudius in Caesar's house at the celebration there of the rites for women only of Donadine, means a Roman deity of fruitfulness, both in the earth and in women. Caesar consequently divorced Pompeia. He obtained the governorship of further Spain for 61 to 60 BCE. His creditors did not let him leave Rome until Crassus had gone bail for a quarter of his debts. But a military expedition beyond the northwest frontier of his province enabled Caesar to win loot for himself as well as for his soldiers, with a balance left over for the treasury. This partial financial recovery enabled him, after his return to Rome in 60 BC, to stand for the consulship for 59 BC. That's it. Thank you.